Hello, my name is Troy Grinder, and I'm the Physical Exercise Specialist here at CFB Esquimalt. Today's PSP workout series is foam rolling techniques. So what is foam rolling? Foam rolling is applying pressure to muscles and fascia. And fascia is connective tissue, kind of a coating that surrounds muscles and groups of muscles. So you use various tools to apply pressure, kind of like you're massaging yourself. So you can use things like foam rollers. You use balls like lacrosse balls, tennis balls, softballs. And you can also use other devices such as massage roller for various areas, like your legs is pretty good for that. So we'll be seeing that later in the demonstration videos. So why should we foam roll? Although the research is limited, here are what some of the research has shown to do. So we have some improvement or increase in joint range of motion, increase in blood flow to the area, decrease in muscle soreness, improvement in muscle recruitment and coordination, as well as it can target trigger points, which are contractile knots in your muscles that can cause pain and discomfort and limit movement. So what we want to do is do a small amount of foam rolling often, as opposed to a large amount and making it infrequent. You want to spend around 2 minutes per area, and between maybe 15 to 20 minutes per session. You want to choose just between 3 to 6 areas to target so you can really get those areas good and spend some time in those areas. And I really like combining it with stretching. So for example, you could massage your hamstrings, foam roll your hamstrings, and then you could stretch them after. I find that is quite effective for me. And when could you do foam rolling? You can do it before a workout, which will help with that joint range of motion for when you're doing a training session, increasing the blood flow, so it will help warm you up, as well as improve muscle recruitment and coordination. You can also choose to do it after your workout as well, and that will help maybe improve that, bring down that muscle soreness for future days, as well as you can target trigger points. And you can do it in combination with stretching, like I mentioned. You can even do it on days outside of your training session. And finally, before we move on to showing you some of the techniques, I want to just go over some key points I want you to consider when you're doing your foam rolling sessions. So the first point is make sure you can breathe and relax during your sessions. You don't want to be holding your breath in pain and agony the whole time, because you're probably doing the opposite of what you want. You might actually make things worse. You might want to start with a 5 to 10 out of intensity level. You might creep up to a 6 or 7, but you're able to bring yourself back down to around a 5 out of 10 at the most. If it is just too intense for you, then maybe choose to use a different tool. So for example, if you're using a foam roller that's quite dense, you could choose to use a softer foam roller that might reduce the intensity for you. If you're using something like a lacrosse ball that is quite intense, maybe choose something like a tennis ball or a hockey ball, that might help. As well as if you're doing massaging movements or moving your limbs and that's just too intense, find that sensitive area and just hold pressure there until you can start massaging again. The second point is if the discomfort doesn't reduce over time, so maybe within a minute, then it's probably an area that you don't want to be massaging in the first place. This might be a nerve or some other structure of the body that just doesn't like being massaged. So if it feels sketchy, it probably is sketchy, so back off of that area. And finally, it can cause something called referred pain. So referred pain is when you're putting pressure in one area of the body and you'll actually feel it somewhere else. I'm not going to go into great details of that or trigger points, but I will show you a book that I recommend if you're interested in learning more. So it's called the Trigger Point Therapy Workbook, a self-treatment guide for pain relief. And it is by Claire Davies and Amber Davies. So pick that up if you're interested in learning more. And the other book I recommend is by Dr. Kelly Starrett. It's called Becoming a Supple Leopard. This is a very popular book. I quite enjoy it. It shows a lot about foam rolling techniques, exercise techniques, as well as a bunch of other things. So pick that one up if you're interested in learning more. So that's it for my brief explanation of foam rolling and everything that it entails. And now we'll go on to showing you some of the techniques.
Thank you.